Good evening. Since we didn't get together, we are just going to speak about a few halachot that pertain to bedikat hametz, about looking and checking for the hametz, things that we need to know. Tomorrow night will be bedikat hametz, and we have to know what to do. So Tuesday night, April 7th, will be the bedikat hametz. It should be done Seta Kochavim, which is after 8:15 here in Hollywood, Florida. That's when we should start checking for the hametz. Now, bedikat hametz is a very, very important mitzvah. I heard from Rav Shmuel Shweka from Deal, New Jersey. He said over a midrash that Esther Hamalka was doing bedikat the night that everyone was up. That's when she was going and doing bedikat hametz. And the midrash says that mitzvah is what saved the Jews. Why? Because the 10 breads that were found by Esther Hamalka when she went looking for it, responding to the 10 sons that were killed, the 10 sons of Haman that were killed. So it's a very, very important mitzvah. Now, of course, the house should be cleaned before bedikat hametz. You don't wait till bedikat hametz to clean the house. If your house is very big, this year it's sometimes very difficult because of the kids, because of a lot of things that are happening, the pandemic. So he said over Rabbi Shweki that you can close up a couple of rooms if you want and sell the rooms and you don't have to check them. But if it's possible, then of course you should be doing it. The pieces that you put out, the 10 pieces of bread, should be less than a kezayit, less than an ounce. It should not be more than that, because if you lose it, it'll be a big issue. In my house, the kids hide it. If there's only a wife and husband, the wife usually hides it and the husband looks for it. Make sure you write down where they are, because many times people lose them and then you don't know where they are, and that can be an issue. Now, when you make the blessing of al biur hametz, when you do the bedikat hametz, when you check for the bread, you do not make it on a flashlight, you make it on a candle. And then when you're in places that you should not be using a candle, right out in the open, you can use the candle. If it's in places under the bed or in the closets, or you're going into the car, because that has to be checked as well as an office, as we'll speak about in a moment, you should check with a flashlight and not with a candle. As we just said, the office and the car should be cleaned as well, and they should be checked if possible. If we're not going back, because this year it doesn't look like anyone's going to work, then you can just sell the office and that would be fine. If the wife tells the husband, I checked these drawers and they're perfect, he doesn't have to look through each drawer. He just has to go and do the regular, normal check, looking for chametz, as well as finding those 10 pieces of bread. The kal chamira that we say, kal chamira, the ikar b'rshuti de la haziteh u'da haziteh, that is all in the machzorim, they're in the sidurim, in the books. Just check out that to see exactly what to say. I know many people this year will be by themselves. Especially I know a lot of women who said they'll be by themselves and they don't know these halachot. So just look at the book to see exactly the kal chamira. You make the beracha. You try not to talk. Make sure all the lights are on. A lot of people have a misconception that the lights should be off. The lights should actually be on, so you can see much, much more. This year, anyone who needs it, the siyum bechorot will be done through Zoom. That is the psak of the rabbis. It should be done through Zoom, so no one should be getting together. Even people who have to say Kaddish, they're saying not to do it, so make sure it's done through Zoom. They have a list of times in the Young Israel, among other places. If anyone needs a siyum, I will be doing it as well. You let me know, and I'll try to accommodate the time. Regarding the last time you can eat or benefit from chametz in Hollywood, Florida, with the Gra's opinion, it's 11:16 a.m. The last time to destroy and annul the hametz is going to be 12:19, again according to the Vilna Gaon. This year, destroying the chametz is more problematic, not only here, but in Brooklyn and Lakewood and Deal. There's no communal burning, so if you can take a couple of little crumbs and burn it in the back of your house in a very normal manner that is safe, then that could be done. If not, the rabbis are saying you take a couple of crumbs, you put it down the toilet, and that is considered destroying it, and that gets the mitzvah. Anyone who did not sell their hametz yet, please let me know, or let any of the rabbis in the community know. It has to be sold the latest by the morning of the 14th, which is going to be Wednesday morning. After that, many people won't even be able to sell it, or they already sold it. People who live or who have business elsewhere, like in Hong Kong and in China, in Israel, and they have products and produce and things like that, should sell it even earlier because their Passover starts earlier than our Passover. Men should shave and get haircuts before Chatzot if possible. We have a halacha, you're not allowed to eat matzah on Erev Pesach, so that we have the taste in our mouth straight up right when we get to the Seder. Regarding egg matzah, that could be eaten, but shmura matzah cake or regular matzah is not eaten, whether it's shmura, whether it's not shmura. The only thing we can have is the juice matzah, which is like egg matzah. Besides for that, you're not allowed to eat it. This year we have eruv tavshilin because it goes straight into Shabbat. So what you should do is you should make sure you boil a couple of hard-boiled eggs. First of all, you need it for the korban chagiga, you need it for the ke'ara, the seder plate. And then you also need it for the eruv tavshilin. It should not be eaten until Shabbat. On Shabbat, you should eat the egg. So have an egg and a piece of matzah and save that for the eruv tavshilin. In the machzor or in the sidur as well, it'll have the text on how to say the beracha of al mitzvat eruv, and that should be said when you do this eruv. God willing, we'll have a class tomorrow night, or I will try to make a recording going through the seder to make sure everyone knows exactly what to do and what we hold, and hopefully we won't need it tomorrow. We'll have Mashiach coming, and we should all be together, united as we once were. Bezat Hashem, Kol Tuv.